Kicker is back. Hey guys, it's Blayde again from Car Security. We've got the two L7S range, the 15-inch and the 12-inch to have a look at today. Now, Kicker was a huge brand for us back in the day. We used to sell them non-stop and they are a huge brand worldwide. Now, these have been very, very difficult to get in from the US, but we've managed to do it, and they are the proper Kicker product that you will remember. So you've got the square face subwoofers. The old school stuff is the best stuff. So we've got the 15-inch L7S and the 12-inch L7S in the pre-made enclosure. So we're going to have a look at the 15-inch, unbox that, go through all the technologies behind it, and then we'll have a look at the enclosure, and then we're going to drop it into a car and give you guys a demo. So let's get into it. Right, so we've unboxed the big boy 15-inch L7S, and let me tell you, it is a big boy. For a 15-inch sub, this looks massive. It looks closer to an 18 than anything. Now, because they've got their patented square design, they've actually been able to increase the surface area over that 15-inch. So still a 15-inch subwoofer, but as you've got kind of the extra corners on there, you actually get a little bit more surface area, and they say you get about 20% improvement in output over a standard 15-inch subwoofer. So in the box, what you'll get is, obviously, you'll get the sub itself, you'll get the instruction manual. Very important to go through this, especially with the 15, as you're going to need to make a custom box for this, whether you go down the route of a sealed or ported box. It tells you the box parameters and all the specs of the speaker in here. It's all laid out on this form here. You get a nice Kicker logo sticker. You get two in here actually. So looking into the manual, you can see here, so the L7S 15, they recommend, let's have a look. So you can either go for a sealed or ported enclosure. So they recommend as a sealed minimum 2 cubic foot, which is pretty small for a big 15-inch sub like this. That's running at 1000 watt RMS. Now, sealed maximum volume is 6 cubic foot. So you've got a very, very wide variant on what you can run as a sealed box in this. Now, ported dimensions, vented minimum, they recommend 3 cubic foot, and a vented maximum is again 6 cubic foot. So sealed or ported, you've got a very, very wide band of volumes you can use. Obviously, generally speaking, the larger the box, you're going to get a little bit more output, but it's going to be a bit more peaky. So if you want a bit more of a flatter frequency response, try and aim towards that lower volume side of things. Very, very good to see that they don't just say one volume. They recommend a minimum and maximum, and you can go anywhere between there, and you'll be pretty good for that. Frequency response on this thing, as I said, it plays down to 18 Hertz, and that's written in here. So that's a serious bit of flex this thing can do, 18 Hertz, but it'll also play all the way up to 500 Hertz. And sensitivity wise, for a big power handling sub like this, it's 88.5 dB. So pretty high sensitivity. You don't tend to see that kind of sensitivity in a kind of 1000 watt RMS range subwoofer. So very, very good specs in this. Very excited to see this go into a car. Now, let's move on to the 12-inch in the prefab ported enclosure. Okay, now, first things first, this is a hefty box. Doesn't look massive, doesn't look like it would be extremely heavy, and let me tell you, this thing is pretty heavy. Sign of good build quality, I guess, but looking at it, I mean, it's a very, very well designed enclosure. You've got the really nice stitched Kicker logo in the blue there. The blue is for their L7S range, so that's their main color for that. It says Solo-Baric at the bottom there, L7. And then on the back, you've got the kind of slanted edge on the back, so you can push it right up to your seats. And then you've got the push down positive and negative speaker terminals on the back. So it's all pre-wired in here. So I think these are wired to a 2 ohm load as standard, so dual 4 ohm sub. So this being the 12-inch, obviously a little bit smaller, but again, being that square design, you've got that little bit of extra surface area over the standard 12-inch subwoofer. But another really good thing to see as well with this subwoofer, they've not just cut any rectangular, just a standard rectangular port like most other brands. They've cut that rectangular port, but then they've chamfered down the edges to create the exact tuning frequency that they're looking for. Now, this box is actually tuned to 33 Hertz. For me, the bass head inside of me is saying that's a perfect tuning frequency, especially for this kind of sub. This thing's rated at 750 RMS. So that 33 hertz, you're gonna get really, really low, but you're still gonna get a nice amount of punchy bass through this as well. And it's a big mouth on the port as well, so plenty of air movement coming through here. It's not a huge enclosure either, so for something that's running 750 RMS, you can drop this into almost any car. Your standard hatchback, estate car, you may even get it into some larger convertibles, saloon cars and stuff like that. This thing is a little powerhouse, let me tell you. But really, really excited to hear this. So let's take this downstairs, put it into one of our vehicles. Let's have a listen. Okay, so I've borrowed one of the staff cars for the purpose of this video, this Mark V R32. So we chucked in that Kicker L7S 12-inch enclosure. So this car already had a subwoofer installed. It's got a Pioneer GMD 9701 amplifier, so almost perfect power handling for this. Is 800 watt RMS at 2 ohm. This is 750 rated, so absolutely fine to run that. Let's close the boot, jump in the front and have a listen. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll start off by playing a range of frequencies. I've got a bass controller on my left here, so I'm going to start with the bass all the way down. We're going to have it at volume 18. So that's the bass controller all the way off. Volume 18. Got a little bit of bass coming through still. Let's slowly creep it up. Okay, so that's halfway on the bass controller. Already pretty loud. Let's go up. I'm dumping the clip that I'm. Wow. She might be what I need. Way too icy. This is good. Oh, okay, that is serious bass coming through there. Now, bear in mind, this is a brand new sub. This has not been running at all. Obviously, I'm not going to play it for too long at high volumes because it hasn't been running. But just off of that royalty-free track, that sounds immense. Let's try something else, a little bit more bass line. Let's do a 50 hertz test tone. Volume up to 18. Okay, that's already really loud and the bass controller's all the way down. Let's creep it up. Right, this is serious. Okay, let's try something else. Yeah, well, I'm massively impressed with this. A very accurate kind of bass, but it is immense at the same time. A lot of ported boxes really struggle to be kind of accurate with frequencies, kind of loud across the board. This does it really well, don't get me wrong. The really high frequencies and the really low frequencies, it is a little bit quieter, but it's tuned to a certain frequency being a ported box. But at and around that frequency, that 33 hertz, this thing absolutely pounds. I mean, even that 50 hertz tone that we tested, that was seriously loud. And that's just running off of that Pioneer amplifier in a hatchback. All the doors and windows are closed. So massively, massively impressed with that. Okay, so we're going to play a test tone at the tuning frequency of this port. So I'm going to have the bass controller on max and I'm going to slowly bring the volume up. I can feel it already. Let's open a window. Whoa. Whole car is shaking. Right. Let's go 40 hertz. 40 hertz. Jesus. Yeah, mega. So yeah, massively impressed with this sub. Kicker's killing it as always. Now, this 12-inch enclosure, as well as the 15-inch, are available on our website, carreadysecurity.com. The 12-inch is absolutely killing it in this prefab enclosure. Now, imagine what the 15 is going to be like in a custom-made enclosure, whether it's sealed or ported at that 1000 watt RMS. It's going to be absolutely bumping. But really, really impressed with this. Really, really impressed with the product, the brand. Really, really happy with it. So make sure you check them out. Links will be in the description below. I hope you've enjoyed this video, just a quick kind of overview of the new Kicker products. We do also have the rest of the range available. So you've got the L7R, the L7T, and you've got the Kicker comps and stuff like that. So check out our website. All the Kicker stuff's going to be on there. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.